And I said, wait a minute. I want a fair trial here. So why is it that every constitutional officer who's sworn to support and defend the Constitution rolls their eyes when I mention my constitutional rights? You're rolling your eyes as if I just said I saw Bigfoot on a UFO last night. If their license is to support and defend the Constitution, especially Lombardo, the highest ranking constitutional officer in Clark County can't support and defend the Constitution for his life. And he's doing what the casinos tell him through the Convention of Visitor Authority. These guys are not complete imbeciles. They know what they're doing. They just don't think there's any resistance.
They're stealing all our money. They're stealing all our costumes. I just won another court case where they were forced to drop it in a Fourth Amendment violation of confiscating my tools of the trade illegally. The court ruled they have to release it to me, and they did release it to me, and I showed you the shape that the stuff was in.
That's right, baby. We are Tom Shebra.
Doing the same shit to the few performers that are left on the fucking strip.
The police have been arresting people. They've been stealing their money, stealing their costumes, their props, and just doing anything they can to discourage people from expressing their free speech. You know, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. I just want to know if it's true or not.
Most of that is true. The casinos don't want us there.
Yeah.
In front of their property. It's actually public property.
Yeah.
But the whole point is the casinos don't like us. So, because a lot of times back in like 2 years ago, casinos will call the police. Police will come up to you and they'll go, "Oh yeah, no problem. You guys are okay to be here. You know, you're on a public property." They'll tell them. They would get mad. So now
they flipped it.
They flipped it, and now no matter what, if you're out there walking around with something like this, they'll walk up to you and don't even ask questions. Let me see your business or your permit or your business ID. You don't need one.
They try to pretend like you need a business license to do anything in
You're
public.
not selling nothing.
And
You're not selling a product.
if you go and try to get one, it doesn't even exist. There is no business license to get.
Not, yeah.
So they're lying to people and under threat of arrest.
Either they arrest you or they'll give you a ticket.
A lot of these tickets get thrown out. But for that to happen, you're more than welcome. For the ticket to get thrown out, that means you have to go to court.
You get a ticket, 3-4 months to get the trial. All that time, they have told you can't be on the strip, and they'll take your stuff. So now you can't work.
There's a guy named Jerry who rents costumes.
Jerry Vegas.
He just showed me. You know, I think they still have thousands and thousands of dollars worth of his costumes and equipment. But he just showed me a whole van full of shit they gave back to him, and it's all destroyed.
Yeah, they stomped on it or crushed it, or and why would if they're saying he did it, why would he smash his own stuff? You know, I don't know what it is, but why they would do that.
No, he wouldn't.
That they're hunting me down when I'm paying for all my business licenses, and when I'm paying for all my taxes and reporting my taxes. And as a matter of fact, I was over-reporting taxes. The tax authority contacted me and said, "Hey, you're paying too much in taxes. You have a tax credit." And then, of course, when all this harassment started, I started having to backpedal and having difficulty getting clients to rent costumes too, because all these people were just so grossly intimidated by these cops and being told blatant lies and phantom laws and being told, hey, there's a zero tolerance, you can't be out here at all, you have to have a license, but guess what, if you try to get a license, they won't give you one. Yeah, you're right. They're not going to get a license because there is no license available, nor is it required. The county commissioner office will tell you that straight up, that the First Amendment is all you need to perform on a public sidewalk.
They're going to, drive the guy. He's going to be out here eventually, like these other people, homeless.
Yeah, I'm personally scared to go back to the strip.
The big performers, the big names who have their own shows.
Yep.
They started the street performers.
Yep.
Ben and Teller. I heard
they're all
almost anybody you can think of, because you don't just start out rich, famous, and talented. You have to start somewhere. And if you're passionate about something, before you have an audience and a contract, you start by doing it on the street in front of the people who are coming by.
Who's the head chief?
Lombardo.
Yeah, he's the one that enforced the law.
It was him who trampled the First Amendment.
I asked a bunch of police officers, hey, why can't I be here? It's not up to us. It's upper command. And that
Lombardo.
Lombardo, yeah. That was him.
He's taken campaign donations from the casinos.
Yeah.
And apparently they want every dollar or tip that you're giving. Nobody comes to Vegas and feels good about losing their ass and losing all their money in the casino. But if they had seen a good show, or you're a magician, if you showed them some good magic that made them smile and laugh, maybe they'll forget about the money they lost, and next year maybe they still return for a vacation.
The reason why people come to Vegas a lot of times too is for the side entertainment, is for the street shows, is for the inexpensive entertainment, you know?
I haven't spent 5 minutes in the casino. I wouldn't be coming here if there was no street performers or nothing. I wouldn't be here. Vegas should be appreciating the street performers before Vegas is not appreciated by the public.
I could be out on the street doing magic. They would sit there and talk to me. I could do magic for them. They'd say, hey, have a good day. You're awesome, blah, blah. The next cop will come up, give me a ticket. So it's some cops are really good. The cops you talked to earlier, I had a lot of problems with them.
Fucking insane.
Well,
like, we really are the Jewish people, and they're the Gestapo.
First, we thought we might be able to self-regulate to address their concerns, but we found out their concerns were complete lies. Had nothing to do with performers being out of control. There are some bad apples, but it had nothing to do with it. There was no real convictions or police charges. No judge had ever really convicted a performer before of any wrongdoing. They used it as a lie to gain all this control. And I warned the city council, I said, you can't take all these controls of a workforce. You can't take all these controls without becoming an employer. You're creating an employer-employee relationship. Now, they laughed at it back in 2015. Now we're getting those things before a judge, because if you grab up all these controls and tell this group of performers who would normally be independent contractors, you got to stand here, you got to do this, you can't work till then, scheduling, everything, you've created an employer relationship. And the thing is, if they want to have all the privileges and rights of an employer, they have the responsibilities and liabilities, such as minimum wage, OSHA, everything else. They laughed at this. Now they're starting to see what I've been doing in the courts for a couple of years, where they're going to get nailed with it. They're violating not just basic rights, but human rights, civil rights, constitutional labor rights. They're violating everything across the board. When I said earlier that, you go from an independent contractor to an employee, but then when they go click, click, and put you in the car and they take your property when you haven't done anything wrong, and they do it maliciously to discourage you from exercising free speech, they've moved from independent contractor to employee to slavery. And the judge says, explain. And I said, whether or not I can work with amplification on the strips will be determined at a future date. However, without the tools of my trade, I can't perform at a bar mitzvah, a recording studio, a concert, a nightclub. I can't work. It's $1,500 in amplification. I can't readily just go buy that because the police violated the Fourth Amendment in taking it from me. There was no need for that.
1,000 legal public performers getting forced off the strip, getting victimized by the domestic terrorism and criminal activity that the LVMPD officers are engaging in against us, and we have no way to defend ourselves other than go to Internal Affairs. We did that. Internal Affairs office never heard back. They just buried it.